Good morning! It's my final day in Disneyland Paris and I'm going to head into the Studios Park to see the construction updates. When I was here in January there was a lot of walls up, but I think they've come down. I think we even can peek a bit of Frozen now, so let's go in and see what we can see. So immediately I can see the difference because there were construction walls all up in front of what was Studio One then, and now it's going to be World Premiere. So on the sides we can already see that it says World Premiere. It's strange to not say Studio One anymore, but it's very exciting. Now if you have seen any of my vlogs before, you'll know it's quite common that at Disneyland Paris they release new things the day after I leave. And the same as with this, World Premiere officially opens tomorrow. It was meant to open in April, so I was very excited, but it got pushed back. But I will be coming back later in the year, so I'll finally get to see it, but we can't quite go in just yet. We're a few hours shy of it opening. So we can see the new little signs. It's so exciting. I can't wait to go in. The artwork looks amazing. Because it's not quite open just yet, we still have to go around the side. I'm looking forward to seeing what this looks like, because previously, kind of all the way in front of the Tower of Terror and the Animation Academy and everything, there were lots and lots of walls. So it'd be interesting to go and see now the difference, because I feel like a lot of them have come down, which is not only visually nice, but it just makes it a bit easy to walk around. So let's go see. So there are still some construction walls by Together, and at the back of World Premiere, I'm assuming these ones will be coming down for tomorrow when it opens, but it's really nice seeing World Premiere written everywhere, which is so exciting. And when you step out from behind the construction walls, the walls are down, which is very exciting. All of this was previously covered up, and it's just so nice to have way more space now. And you can actually go down this road, which you couldn't before. It's very exciting. Oh, wait a minute, you've seen it. The back of World Premiere looks very different now. This is amazing! Walt and Mickey are back! It is super great to see Walt and Mickey back and in their new location. And it's really interesting to see World Premiere. You will actually spill out from two separate sides now instead of just straight out the back like before. So it's very exciting to see it all. Something else I really like is at the top of the building, you've got the classic Disney D, which looks so cute. It's also really nice to see all of these little statues together, and it looks great. It's so nice seeing it all opened up again. You can see the huge difference in how spacious this is compared to when I was here in January, and it was a very, very narrow walkway full of construction walls, but we're going to walk down this way. Oh, guys, oh my god, look straight ahead. We can see Frozen Land! Oh my god. That's so exciting that it is peeping out now. It's going to be absolutely amazing once this park has its renovations done and it opens, because it's going to be such a big expansion. And the fact that it's not just, obviously, Frozen Land, we're getting Adventure Way, where we're also getting some attractions, some dining. So the fact that we can now kind of see down Adventure Way is so exciting. There of course are still some construction walls up. We know at the moment that this is due to open 2026. We don't have an actual date or even a season, so we do know it's still quite far off. So there will be construction going on for the next year, maybe a little bit longer, maybe a little bit shorter. So, but it's amazing to kind of see the work progress, and having this open up makes such a big difference to the feel of this park. So I'm going to try and go on the parachute drop to see if we can get a better view. Now, it might be quite shaky footage. This ride makes me nervous. Also, I'm going single rider, so I won't have an option of where to sit. So let's have our fingers crossed that I'll have some sort of view. Otherwise, it'll be all in vain. But, you know, it's helping me overcome my fear of heights. So, you know, it's therapy, it's exposure therapy. While we are facing the right way, so hopefully we'll get a view over Adventure Way, and I won't have some sort of panic attack. That'll be a good day. The things I'm willing to do just to get a good shot and see what's going on. Now hopefully I'll keep my eyes open, but if not, at least I can watch the footage back and see That's right. Okay. Oh no, the pole's in the way. I hope you can see something because I can't see anything. Oh my god, this is very stressful. Okay. Okay, I can see tiny amounts, but not much. I hope my arm is long enough. I do have quite short arms, so I hope you can see something. I can see a bit of a winch away, that's good. There we go. I've seen something. There's also a little bit of construction walls in Disneyland. And like I say, there's just a lot of things happening at the moment. I think it will be amazing once everything is done. And I think the only downside is they have had a long time building this. So like, this has been nearly 7 years. And I feel like across the parks, Disney Village and here, they should have staggered the construction a little bit more because it is just a lot of construction everywhere at the moment, and it will be great once it's finished. But like I say, if you're someone that maybe only comes once in a lifetime or maybe every 5-10 years, if you were to visit at the moment, it would be very noticeable. So I think they, over the 7 years, could have done it in phases. It feels like, you know, when you leave a project at the last minute and then you're like, oh my god, everything's happening at once. It feels a bit like that. But it is nice to have seen, like yesterday, the shop renovations looked great. And if that's kind of a sign of what Disney Village is going to look like, that's going to be amazing. And like in here, now seeing kind of the Walt statue back and how spacious that area is feeling, it's like all good signs. So we just got, you know, a little bit longer to wait, and then it should all be ready and very, very nice and exciting to experience. We're going to pop through a portal, just giving Epic Universe vibes, but obviously this has been here for a long time. But I do love coming to see everyone's favourite mouse. Everyone's favourite mouse is obviously Mickey now, and Remy is everyone's favourite rat. So, you know, got to get it right. Can't in Disney of all places, you can't be accidentally calling Remy a mouse and he's the favourite mouse. You will probably get banned for life.
Voilà. Mais oui, that's it.
It feels like today's going to be a busy day because the premier access queue for this ride was huge. Luckily, single rider, I literally went on the next ride, which is amazing. But it definitely feels like a busy day today. So let's carry on, see if we can see some more construction updates. I might pop in the shop because I do love this shop. And I can't bypass it from next to it, so let's go in. So, before going in the shop, I just had a little sit down so I could have some drink because it's so hot today. It's really, really nice. I feel like the afternoon is going to be roasting. It is meant to get to about 26, but it's so nice to have the sun, which is glorious. But I thought I'd have a quick look at the wait times. Tower of Terror is currently 70 minutes, Ratatouille is 40, Webslingers is 45. Crusher's Coaster is 55, which is surprising because that should be a lot longer. So yeah, Aladdin, the flying carpet is 20 minutes, so it's interesting because it is quite a wait for some of the rides. But like I said, I'm going to have a look at the shop. I'm going to look up more construction updates. I'm loving seeing this Walt statue, so I'm going to go back to the Partners statue and have a little look. And I'd like to go to Avengers Campus because where the weather's very nice, I wonder if the heroes will be out. Because that's something I love about Avengers Campus, but out of all the trips I've been on since that's opened, I've only been here once when there's been roaming characters. So I don't know if it's just unfortunate, maybe because I'm now coming in May, that'll be out, so let's go and see, but I'm gonna have to go and show Marianne first. Every time I'm in here, I'm like, I want an Emil because he's so cute. And I'm like, I don't need him. I do love him. How can you say no to this face? How? How is it possible? Luckily, or not luckily, I don't have any luggage space. So I don't think today will be the one. And then I always like to have a little look because this is where you will also get all of your Paris specific merch, which is always so nice. And it's just nice to have things that are specific to the park, right? When you get some merchandise. I typically visit in the off season just because it's a good price, and I do like to come in May. It is obviously a little bit busier, but this trip I have been impressed that the wait times haven't been too bad. Today's like the only day where you kind of notice it be a bit busier, but it is getting towards the weekend. Obviously tomorrow world premiere opens, there will be people here for that, and it's so nice to kind of see the parks in the sunshine, which is so good. So there are still a few construction walls up in this area, but you can still get in. So you can go and see Mickey and the Magician. It isn't shut, anything like that. You just have to walk past the construction walls. But the difference walking through here is absolutely amazing. And we've got some more stalls out, and it's just lovely to see. Oh, interesting. This lime green van is where you could get the vegan and gluten-free fries and the sauces, and it's moved. But that is good to know because it's a handy little place for a little snack. The Animation Academy was all behind construction walls last time, so yeah, it's just so lovely. The difference of being able to walk around freely and kind of not bump into people and not be confined is so nice. And yeah, I think once all the construction walls are down, it's going to feel like a completely different park. It's going to be so amazing. It's also nice because here in front of the Tower of Terror, they've got more seating now. And then of course you can actually walk into the area near Tower of Terror now, which you couldn't do before. It was all construction walls. We got lost actually, me and Kirsty, and we were in a labyrinth, we couldn't escape it. But here you also have some more tables in the shade. There is a smoking area here, so just be aware if you don't want to be around smoke. But it's super handy to be able to walk everywhere now. It's always such an impressive view, the Tower of Terror, just looming above you. I love it. Now, apparently the Tower of Terror is going to have some awnings put over the top of the outdoor portion of the queue. So that is a renovation that will be coming up kind of soon, and we are actually seeing, I don't know if they're just expecting it to be very busy, but there are a lot of outdoor extra queue things that they've put up. Let me show you. So we kind of have all of this extended queue kind of here, so I don't know if they're expecting the next couple of days to be very busy with the opening of world premiere, and they are knowing the queue's going to be very long, or if they're preemptively putting this up because portions of the queue will be shut for the awning. We can also see that the studio where Together is currently behind construction walls, and I can actually see some machinery at work in there at the moment. So yes, they are working hard. But let's take a trip into Avengers campus now and see if anyone is out and about, if we can see anyone, and maybe see what the single rider queue for Webslingers is like. Now, sometimes when you first walk in, over here there will be pop-up character meets, so do keep an eye when you walk past, just because you see someone, and also up here you'll sometimes see Spider-Man. So it's currently a 45-minute wait to go on, or a 15-minute for single rider, so let's go and kill some spider-wars.
J'assigne les profils de couleurs individualisés. Un désastre, c'est le juste. Je savais que tu serais d'accord. Un bouteille par ici. Je suis vraiment content de vous voir.
I did it. I got the high score in the car. That is why I did not feel much, because it's vitally important. Once I go on to any of these games, rides that have a game in it, forget about it. It's all everyone for themselves. I have to be the highest person in the car. This is all that matters. Okay, so it looks like the merch is pretty much the same from the last time I was here. I do love now that we are seeing like Flight Force merchandise. That feels like kind of, oh, I like this bottle. This is good, although I haven't been on the ride. When it's Rock and Roller Coaster, been on it, but not as its current version. But yeah, I think all the other merch is pretty much the same. So I'm going to have a little sit down in the sunshine and see if any heroes do come out. I haven't seen any roaming about at the moment. that hopefully will be in luck. And I definitely need to rest my foot. I feel like the plantar fasciitis is playing up a little bit, but I also think it's because I go to trainers like it's going out of fashion. I think that's because I think there's like a general rule of thumb. It's something like every 100 miles you should change your trainers because they start to lose their support. And obviously with plantar fasciitis, the support is everything. And to be fair, these trainers I've worn in Disney World. I've worn them to 4 or 5 Disneyland Paris trips, so they're probably just coming into the end of their life, which sounds very dramatic. But I'm a lot more sitting down today. But I have really enjoyed being back in the Studios Park. It's just a really nice vibe in here today. It's been really, really good. And getting to kind of see the changes has been so, so lovely. And that is something that is nice. Like, on the one hand, it's difficult because there's a lot of construction going on. But on the other hand, every time you come, it's different because, you know, some areas then being opened up and, you know, there's a shop that's been renovated or something like that. So whenever you come, it's always interesting because there's something new. So my next visit, I'll be thrilled because finally Casey's Corner awning will be available to sit under. And yeah, I can't wait to go in world premiere. I can't wait to see inside because, like I said, the artwork looked amazing. So I think it's been really, really cool. And I love seeing that they've changed the back entrance so that now you kind of had the partner statue there. I think that's a really, really good idea, and it's a perfect photo spot as well. So loving it. So I don't know how much longer I will be in here because I do want to get back over to the other parks so I can do more of the music festival season. I've still got food to try. I want to try this virtual queue. There's a lot going on. I definitely have done too short a trip, but none of this was planned when I booked. So it's actually been a really nice surprise that there's been so much extra stuff I wasn't anticipating. It's happening. I can see a crowd forming. There's someone out and about. I think it is quite difficult because when there's only one character around, of course they get absolutely swamped. And the point of Avengers Campus is they need to be like kind of walking around to make it feel like a living place. It's obviously a campus where everyone's training to be Avengers. So I think that is the difficult thing. Like, obviously the more characters there are, the more you get that feel. But when there's one, you kind of get swamped, and then you can take a few photos and then it has to be like, oh, I've got to carry on walking. And then people are like, oh, but I need a photo. So it's really, really difficult. So hopefully that's a good sign. Hopefully more will come out. And it's just great when you have roaming characters. It just makes the park feel so alive. And I actually think that's something that the music festival is doing really, really well, is having these different performance spots around the park makes it feel so much more vibrant and alive. And something that Disneyland in California do really, really well are the roaming characters and also music everywhere. And the music festival season gives a taste of that, which is so, so nice. And I think that's when the Disney parks are best, and I think that's why Disneyland is so special. But it'll be great if Disneyland Paris and Disney World, other Disney parks start doing that. It used to be much more roaming characters in Disneyland Paris, but they obviously had to stop that, but it makes such a difference. Something that was super interesting on Webslingers was there was a lady behind me who got into the single rider queue, and she had a child who was about 2 years old, and I was certain they were going to go, oh, you can't split up, because I'm pretty sure there's an age limit for single rider. They let them on. And I'm really surprised to let a kid that young, like he had a dummy, he had to be carried, like, I'm like, I don't think he can be on a ride on his own. So I was very, very surprised. I don't know, because she wasn't with someone else, because it's not like they were doing like rider swap. So it was just very, very interesting, because I've never seen that. And I was like, is this baby going to be killing spider bots on his own? Is maybe he's super advanced. Maybe he's a super baby. So I thought I'd come and have one final look at world premiere, and it looks amazing. This is going to be the new entrance into the park, and you can see there's new flooring. You've got these lovely kind of Art Deco lights. It's very old Hollywood glamour. You've got new wallpaper. It looks great. It's going to be amazing once it's open. This is just such a lovely photo spot, and with like all the plants and the partner statue is great. I'm so impressed by this. I love this very, very much. I think this is an incredible photo spot. The inside that you can kind of see, the like entranceway looks great, and I just can't wait to try and experience getting to go there. I'm so sad that I'm missing it by one day, but when I come back next time, it's going to be fantastic to actually get to go in there. So it is time to say TTFN, ta-ta for now, to Walt Disney Studios Park for this trip, but I cannot wait to come back later in the year to experience world premiere and see even more updates. So it's been a lovely, lovely morning, and now I'm going to head back into Disneyland Park because there's still so much to do. I do think that this is one of the most beautiful entrances to any Disney park, like having all of the amazing flowers. You obviously have the Mickey topiary, and then just such a stunning entrance to the park with the Disneyland Hotel. It's just beautiful. It's just, when you're walking up, you immediately get all the feels because it's just stunning. So I have just arrived in the park and people are getting ready for Stars on Parade. This now happens at 11:30 instead of 5:30 because of the music festival season, so that has moved times. But I am actually going to cut through the arcades because whilst this is happening, you cannot get down Main Street, forget about it. So luckily they do have these arcades either side of the shopping district down Main Street, and they actually have back entrances into the shops, so if you did want to pop into them, you absolutely still can. But let's use our cheeky little shortcut so that we can avoid the crowds and head back to Fantasyland, because I think I'm going to go get some lunch and it's something I'm yet to try and I'm very excited for it. I also love these arcades because they are just very, very beautiful. They have seats, so if you do need a little rest and you maybe don't want to be in the sun or if it's raining, you can come in here. And they also have little stores, so like in this one, you've got a glassware store. So you can buy all of your little cups and glasses and crystal things. They also have toilets, so they've got a little bit of everything. They're not just a cheeky shortcut, they're quite handy as well. And I'm also going to use all of the cheeky walkways to get to Fantasyland because I'm going to go behind the castle, but you can use these little walkways to get there. And it just means being able to avoid the crowds that are all around the castle hub. It's good to know the shortcuts. Any way you can save your feet is a win for me. So we've just come out of our little walkways, and as you'll see in a minute, we'll turn around this corner and we will be right next to the castle. So this is a really, really quick and handy shortcut to get around the parks, particularly if there is a parade on and you just cannot walk down Main Street. So here we are. There is the castle in all its glory, and we're gonna sneak round the side and get back into Fantasyland, which is so exciting. Something that I think gets skipped over really easily is how beautiful the entranceway into the shop next to the Snow White ride is. It's just so cute. We've got some little critters down here, and it's the little cottage from Snow White. It's just absolutely stunning. And this is why I think Disney is so amazing, isn't it? Because nothing is not thought about. Everything is super, super highly themed. Every little detail, every doorknob, every tile. It's just amazing. And the fact that they're like, we're going to have a Snow White shop, let's make it Snow White, is beautiful. So of course for lunch I've had to come to Toad Hall, which is one of my favourite quick service locations. Sadly the vegan fish and chips has gone. I don't know if it's a supplier issue, maybe it will come back because it was one of the best vegan options here. However, they do have vegan nuggets, so let's go in and try them. Let's see what the nuggets are. I'm going to try it without the sauce first, just to see what the nugget is like. That is really, really good. It's super crispy, which is amazing, and they taste just like nuggets. And it's actually one of those things that the only other thing on the menu is fish and chips, which is good because if they also had normal nuggets, I would be panicking that these were not vegan. Because they're that realistic, but they are so crunchy and crispy. Let's try it with the tartar sauce. I'm so impressed with these nuggets, they are so delicious. I also think this is a really good portion size, like 9 nuggets is a good size and you get lots of chips, so this is going to be like a really good filling meal. And it came to €12. That was another super tasty meal. The Magnum was super nice. What was great is when I was ordering, they said, oh, do you want to have the Magnum now or do you want to come back for it? Because obviously it will melt a little bit. And I like it a little bit melted, so I was like, that's fine. But it's really nice they give you the option. It was very, very sweet. So now I'm going to have a little wander around. There's still a little time before the first music festival season thing I want to watch today, so let's go see if we're going to go on a ride. I do need to go over to Discoveryland, because apparently there's some droids that could be out. So I'm like, maybe we head over there. We also haven't been to Star Traders. We haven't even been in that land at all this trip yet, so maybe that's the plan. But look how beautiful the park looks in the sun. It's so lovely to see it. I'm hoping that the little walkway between Fantasyland and Discoveryland is open. When I was here the other day, it was, which is fantastic. It's right next to It's a Small World, and it just helps you save time. You don't have to go all the way around, kind of past the castle and walk in that way. So let's hope that's open. The little food booths are back near It's a Small World, so if you are looking for kind of like some sweet treats, this is a great place to come. Sadly no vegan options, so I won't be grabbing anything. I'm also absolutely stuffed. The total meal, it was so filling, it was so good. And for €12, I think it's really good value for money by how stuffed you are. And then when I finished, I was like, oh no, I've got an ice cream to eat. I was like, this is a problem. I was over enthusiastic when ordering. You can tell it is a busy day when the queue for It's a Small World is all the way out here. But good news for me, the little walkway is open, so we're gonna sneak back, have a little look. I want to see these droids. I really hope I get to see them because they look so cute. And I just missed Ahsoka. She finished the day before I arrived. I think you're starting to see a theme here. Every time I go to Disneyland Paris, for some reason they know I'm coming and they go, she's not allowed any of this. So just missed Ahsoka, but the droids I think are here for the rest of May, which is very exciting, and they just look adorable. So I need to spy them, it's vital. Something that is also on at the moment is there's a show for little children where they can learn to be a Jedi from Rey. I'm not going to film the show because obviously I don't want to be filming people's kids, but it's really cute that they're doing more Star Wars in this park. So it's just been announced that Starport this summer will actually be turning into a lounge. It's only going to hold 50 people, so it's going to be super hard to get in, but there's going to be amazing character interactions. It looks amazing. It's only here for a few months, so sadly I'm going to miss it, but if you are here this summer, I think it's going to be awesome. And if you're a Star Wars fan, it's going to be a must-do. But now let's head into one of my favourite shops, Star Traders, and see what they have in. Oh no, I've spotted another fleece. This is a problem, but this is lovely. It's so fluffy and it's got little gold sparkles. That's amazing. And that is €60. Oh my god, it doesn't got anything on the back. Let's see. Oh, I love that. It is interesting though. It's very warm now and they're like, lots of fleeces. Would you like a fleece? And I'm like, I would. But my body is telling me absolutely not because it's so hot. I've got some Empire Strikes Back sweatshirts, which is super nice. This is a kid's t-shirt, but this is pretty fun. I do love this. We all know I have a problem with collecting mugs, but this is so cute. You can also get a little Grogu straw. And they have this animatronic Yoda, which is cool. Love this cutest in the galaxy Grogu t-shirt, that's amazing. There's also some Hyperspace Mountain merch in here now, which is really nice to see. What's super interesting is almost everything in here now is aimed towards kids, so kids toys or kids clothing, whereas normally it's kind of more adult clothing in a smaller kids section. I don't know if that's because we're getting closer to the summer holidays, so they're thinking more families will come. But it's interesting because I'm like, the core audience of Star Wars are middle-aged people. So can we please remember that and make sure we also get included, because I want to be able to buy the merch. I want the fun things. I need a little sit down, so I think I'm going to go into Vidopolis and then I'm going to look at my little list to see what show I'm going to see first. I'm going to see if actually you can go in Vidopolis, because where they are having the music festival show there, the Disney Hits concert, I don't know if you'll be able to just sit there like a normal person now, so we'll have to go and see. So the good news is you can still come in here and sit down. I don't know if it's kind of like if you just sit here and stay here, you can watch the show, or if obviously at some point they clear people out and then they get you to queue somewhere. But interestingly, we can see the stage set up. So it's really nice to see the instruments, and of course they also have the theme song for this season. So I've just come outside and you can see the Orbitron is currently under construction. There's also some construction walls around Space Mountain. So yeah, there's just a lot going on. And I know earlier I kind of mentioned in this series about, I think they should have staggered things more, and I think that's what it is, because if you see some construction, you're like, it makes sense. Like we say, these parks are open all year round, so they have to do construction whilst people are still visiting. It just feels like if they've had a 7-year period to do it, maybe done it in little stages because there is a lot going on. Although what I would say, what is good is construction like that doesn't really impact your flowing around the park. It's just around the ride, so it doesn't really block anything. Whereas in the Studios Park before, where they had the walls and it was the narrow walkway, you were like, oh, this is kind of it kind of didn't look great, and you could feel that the guest flow wasn't as efficient. Whereas now they've gone, it's like a whole different park. So it's lovely once they come down and you can really see the difference. So I am now making my way towards my first music festival session of the day. I think I'm probably going to be able to fit 2 in. It'd be nice to fit 3. But I think I'm going to definitely be able to do 2 today, which is so good, and it's going to be ones that I haven't seen yet. But like I said, the thing that was great about the grand finale is you got a taste of all of them, which was really good. So I would say if you're coming here and you don't think you'll be able to see all of them individually, definitely go to the grand finale, and you kind of get the best of everything, which is amazing. So I feel like I'm doing a very Disney thing, which is sitting on a club waiting for a show. And luckily for me, Mary Poppins is currently going on, so you can kind of listen to them whilst you're saving your spot and see the characters, which is so nice. So it's just lovely and glorious to be sat out in the sun. And I have heard that the one that I'm about to watch is kind of very short, and it felt like it was the one that was being promoted the most. I don't know why I'm being so secretive about what I'm about to see. It felt like it was being promoted a lot, but actually it's quite short. So we will see what we get to see, and I think it's going to be super fun. I'm just very excited to see some more of the music festival season, because I do think it has been amazing. And like I say, bringing that live entertainment into the parks makes such a difference. And then it's trying to work out what I will see next, because the next one possibly might be the last one. And there's 2 that I'm debating between. Do I see Timon? Do I see Moana? I didn't mind Moana. It's not my favourite film. To be fair, I feel like I need to rewatch it, because everyone's like, I think you need to change your opinion. So I do need to get back and see it. But when I was speaking to the cast member yesterday, he was telling me that the musicians are actually all a family. I was so intrigued by that. But I also know that is one of the shows where you have to get there super early, far earlier than the other ones, because it gets probably the most busy. So I'm like, oh, do I see that? Do I see Timon? Yesterday, seeing a little bit of Timon on the stage in front of me, it looked really fun. So that's my natural inclination, is to sway towards that. But we will see how it all works out with the timings. I should also point out that it is a very busy day today. The park, I think, to get on the train, it's like a 40-minute wait, which is just wild. It's 30 minutes for Pirates of the Caribbean. And do you have a ride where you use that as the barometer? So like, I always, if Pirates is 30 minutes, I think, oh, this is a busy day. Because Pirates, where it's continually moving, it's normally quite quick. Also, stuff like Phantom Manor. Phantom Manor gets a long queue. The world is ending. It's very bad. It's a very bad day. So it's really interesting, because it is a Wednesday, and I'm wondering if just because World Premiere is opening tomorrow, there's more people arriving. I try and book when there are no like public holidays, school holidays, and I know if you come towards like a weekend, naturally that's going to be busier. So yeah, it's always interesting to see what days randomly end up being busy. I do also love that whenever you go and see anyone do their musical session, they always play Viva la Musique, which is the soundtrack to this festival season, but in the style that's appropriate to whatever they're performing, which I think is so cool. And it was actually interesting, when I was sat in Vidopolis, they would play Viva la Musique in French, then they'd do one of the other songs, like a Disney song, but I think from the Hits show. Then they'd do it in the English version, so I got to hear it quite a few times. And also, when the fireworks ended last night, they were playing it on loop, and that's the first time I remember them having a song on loop as you leave. Maybe I just have a bad memory, but I don't remember that it being a continuous song. Oh, look who's coming. I absolutely loved Minnie's marching band. I thought they were literally just gonna walk, turn around and come back. I can't believe how amazing that was. And I, just by sheer luck, I think I ended up in the best spot because I waited for where I knew they were gonna come out, but then you were able to follow them down Main Street, and I got the most incredible view of Minnie and her band, with the castle in the background, and then on the way back I managed to find a few spots. So I would say if you're coming to see it, definitely stand there and follow them rather than wait on Main Street, because if you wait on Main Street you just see them there and it's still a great show, but you can kind of see the whole show if you did what I did, and you get like amazing photos and videos. It was so cute. I absolutely loved it. And the musicians are great. Like, I love how they interact with you even whilst they're still playing instruments. It's really amazing. So I am now heading into Adventureland because I'm going to try and see Timon now. I don't know if I'll have enough time to get a good spot, but let's go and see. So there is already quite the crowd for Timon. I don't think I'm going to see anything, so I'm going to come and try that later. Something else that I wanted to try this trip was to try and meet Stitch, which I don't think anyone ever thought I would say because I'm not a big fan of the guy. But they've got the new virtual queue system. However, whenever I've tried, I've not been able to get it, and I think that's because I haven't been ready at the exact second it's gone live, because like just a minute ago I was so excited by Minnie I completely forgot that it was 2 o'clock. So I think if you are waiting and ready to go, that's perfect. You can book for Stitch at 9:45 or 2 p.m, but you do have to be in the park to do it. So that's something for another trip. And what will be good is actually when I come next time, there will be more characters. So you can do the Princess Pavilion, meet Mickey, there's going to be a few other characters, so that's going to be really, really good. So I will get round to the virtual queue, but like I say, when I booked this trip, it was just like going to be a normal come to the parks and do whatever you fancy doing. And since then they've announced the music festival season, the virtual queue, new dining options, the renovations of the shop, loads of things have happened. So it's just been impossible to fit it all into one trip, but how wonderful that there's so many new things. So I found a little shaded area to sit and just have a little break whilst I wait for the next Timon show. And what's really, really lucky is Moana and her musicians behind me. So again, that was very, very busy, but it's been lovely just sitting here with that going on in the background, getting to hear it, like not seeing the show, but actually hearing it. It's been lovely, and having a little break from the sun has been wonderful. So I'm going to head back now over to where Timon's show is so I can get there early enough to get a spot. So let's go. I thought I'd do a little shortcut through the caves because that's how I got to Moana, and now I don't know where I am and I'm lost in the caves. Where am I? Okay, we made it out, and we've come near a bridge that is near Hakuna Matata, so that's not where I wanted to be. But at least I know where I am now. I do love that the parks have these little places that are just to kind of explore. They're not a ride, they're not an attraction, but you can just wander around the caves and get lost. Unfortunately at the moment, like the wobbly bridge is under renovation, but all little things like that, I think they bring such a necessary part to the park, because you don't want to have to queue for absolutely everything. And sometimes you just want to go and have fun and explore and see where you end up. And I think that's such a vital part of the parks. Okay, we've made it. I'm getting across the bridge, and then hopefully we'll get a spot. So I've managed to get a spot which is fabulous, and I'm sat on the floor. That's my favourite thing to do at the music festival is whilst you're waiting, just sit down, and everyone's doing it, and it's definitely a way to save your feet. So any chance to sit down, I absolutely love. But I'm very excited for this show. It looked great yesterday in the grand finale. I think it's going to be really vibrant, really exciting, so I can't wait. So sadly, just before the show is about to start, they informed us that it's been cancelled due to technical difficulties, but Timon is going to come out. So I'm going to see if I can say hello, maybe get a photo with Timon. And it's one of those things that there's nothing you can do if there's technical difficulties, it is what it is. However, there's not enough time now to get to any of the other shows because they've either already started or they're about to start, so the queue would be crazy, the crowd to see them. So I might not see any more music festival season, but we'll see. There's a possibility, a slight chance, I might be able to catch one more for getting on the train. Okay. It's super nice that even though the show was cancelled, Timon and Pumbaa did come out and you could get photos, and they were hilarious. And it's that thing, isn't it, that even without words, they can be super funny. It's just like yesterday, Donald and Daisy, absolute hoot, even though they can't say anything. So I'm going to have a little wander around now and see what maybe I fancy doing. I do need to go and sit somewhere in the shade for a little bit because I was sat in the sun for about 35 minutes. So I'm like, let's go find some shade. What's really interesting about the music festival season is from 1 o'clock onwards, there's a show once an hour for all of the shows, except for 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock there's no shows happening, and that's kind of why I'm like, oh, I don't think I'm going to fit another one in, because after that we're getting close to having to go to the train station, which we're not going to think about. We're not going to think about it, we're not going to talk about it. But it is nice that between like 1 and 6 o'clock there's always a show going on. But like I said, because of needing to get to shows about 30 minutes early to make sure that you can kind of get the best views, you do need to factor that in. So sometimes it's hard to go from one to another, because say one starts at 3 o'clock but finishes at 3:20, and the next one is at like 3:40, you might not have enough time to get there and get a good spot. So just be aware of that. And if you're here for multiple days, it's good because then you can just see things over multiple days, which would be fantastic. But I thought I'd have a little look at the app now and see what the ride wait times are doing, because earlier on it was super busy, and I'm wondering if there's like an initial rush of people like, oh my god, I'm here, I've got to go on the rides, and now people are like kind of having a break, seeing some of the shows, getting involved in all the other things on offer. But like I say, I haven't been on it. Have I been on the ride today? I can't even remember. Oh yes, no, I have, in the Studios Park. That's what I completely forgot that I've already been to the Studios Park. But you really can come to Disney and go on no rides and have an amazing time. So let's have a little sneak peek. So Paris is now 20, Small World is 10, Fantasyland is 10. So it does seem like the ride wait times are coming down a bit, which is great. So I'm going to try and get on some of my favourites again. It's one of those things, I'm like, do I want to go on the ones I like the most? Or do I go on the ones I haven't been on yet? A sensible person would probably go on those ones. But then I'm a creature of habit. A little sit down in the shade and rehydrating was just what I needed. And it's so nice. Something I would say, I find this in all Disney parks, is there's not enough seating. I would love to see more just seating. Because the thing is, when you're not walking or standing, so your feet are never really getting a rest. So seats, more seats. Although what's funny now, when I sit down, because my body is disintegrating before I go on, it's like the evolution of man when I get up. I'm like hunched over, and as I start to walk and build momentum, I start getting more and more upright. And I'm like, this is embarrassing. So there's every chance I might just be stuck on the plane tonight, not going to be able to get off. But, ever predictable, I'm now going to head over to Phantom Manor because I can't leave without going on it again. I have to go and check if this scream, what was happening? Was I hearing things? Was someone just genuinely terrified? Is it a sound effect I've never heard? I need to go and find out.
Ghoulies, creatures of fright, we summon you now to dance through the night.
Ah, there you are. Welcome, foolish mortals.
Okay, so I definitely heard the scream again. I can't believe I've never heard that before, but I didn't hear the man saying get out, get me out. So I think it must be timed, or I've just never heard this before because I've not been paying attention. It was super, super, super fun, and I would just never get bored of this. I just love it. Every time you see like new little details, and every time I'm thinking which characters am I like, which characters are my favourite. I very much like the man who takes his head off and says welcome forged mortals. Obviously, love the ghouly guy. He's probably the scariest part of the ride. And I do actually think it's really clever to have had Vincent Price doing the narration, because you've got to have a horror icon just to make that it a bit more scary, just up the ante, which I love. And we'll get one final look at the construction on Big Thunder. As you can see, there are some people already hard at work. And like I said, there's definitely more scaffolding than before. So that is amazing. And it is getting closer and closer to completion, so I cannot wait to get on it again. So I didn't get to watch the show, but it is amazing to see this photo wall for Moana, and it's amazing, and it's great that there's a photo spot for when the show's not happening. So I'm going to try and get one last thrill in before I have to leave and go on Indiana Jones and use the single rider queue. So that was super, super fun as always, and it is a ride that can tend to bash your head about, but what I always do is put my head back but then actively like push against the metal restraints so that you're physically forcing your head back, and then you kind of don't bash about at all, which is good. But always so much fun, and that might be my last ride of the trip, we'll see, we don't know. But if it is, it was a good one. So I'm going to stop and have an early dinner now, because Shoulderpool doesn't really have any vegan options, and I always end up just eating Pringles. So I was like, let me have a proper meal, and I loved this last time. So let's go get the lentil dal curry, and it's so good, it's so good. So it'll be nice and filling for the flight home. As well as food, I'm in a desperate need for a drink, because it is so hot. This is always such a tasty meal. I really, really love that Disneyland Paris do a mixture of, if you want kind of like the faux meat, you've got options, but they've also got lots of options that don't have any of that. So if you're looking for something that's more like whole food, and this is a really good option. It's just really, really tasty. It's not spicy, so it's good for everyone. You get naan with it, so it's like a nice filling meal. And it's so nice. Sit inside where it's cool, have a good drink, and just recharge your batteries. And I think that's something that's so good about, even if you just do a quick service meal and not a table service meal, having those times to like sit down, recharge, and just get more energy for the rest of your day is so needed. And it's just so lovely being in here. So afterwards I'm going to have to think about what I'm going to do, because I won't have lots of time before I have to head to the train station. So sometimes it's nice just to kind of get those final castle shots, have a little wander around, maybe look in the shops to see if there's any last minute purchases to be made. But it's always awkward that last kind of hour, because you're like, okay, do I do any rides? Can I see a show? What do I do? And I end up just kind of walking around aimlessly because I can't decide. But are you one of those people that when it gets closer and closer to the time you know you have to leave, you start like dithering and you're like, oh, I don't know what to do? Or are you like getting everything in, like packing every second full of things? Because I'd love to know, because I'm like, oh, I've only got an hour left, what do I do? So that was another lovely meal, and it was just great to sit down and properly relax and kind of have a drink. I feel much more refreshed, although it happened because I was sat down for too long. It was like the evolution of man again, and I was like, oh no, I'm like really stiff trying to get up. I have to get the momentum and get upright. and walk like a normal person. So I am now going to have a little look around because I've got about 45 minutes before I have to leave. So let's go see what we can do. Probably go look at the castle, got to see those final castle shots, and then head on our way. I am also so thankful I have a power bank on me because my phone is very much running out of battery, and of course these days, like my train ticket, my boarding pass, everything is on my phone. So we definitely think having a power bank on you just for emergencies is perfect. And then it's kind of like whilst I'm walking around the park, it's just charging, doing its own thing. But then I know I'll be able to get on the plane, which is so good, because it must be a nightmare if you've kind of forgotten why you don't have one with you, and it's just like, how am I going to get anywhere? Like everything is on the phone, everything, the whole life. Okay, I think I am just going to quickly swing by Discoveryland to see if these droids are out, if fortune is in my favour, because I'm desperate to see them because they look so cute. So let's do a little stop there and then we can see the castle again before we leave. But I always like to get this last minute photos. I feel like saying goodbye to the castle is everyone's final thing they do. I feel like that right. Yeah, that's right, isn't it? Everyone does that. That's the thing. So I am kind of aimlessly walking around because I don't know exactly where the droids would be. However, most of the Star Wars stuff is all in the same area. So you obviously have Star Tours, Starport, the Mandalorian meet next to that. And then where I saw Rey earlier is the other side of Star Tours. If you're walking towards Fantasyland, down that nice little quiet walkway. So I'm wondering if like Rey is there, and when she's not there, the droids are there. Because I can't see them anywhere else, and actually it's a nice quiet space because I don't think they could have them walking around in like the central plaza because it's so busy at the moment. So I'm going to have a little peep over there and see if I'm in luck. So Rey is currently doing her show, and next door to the show there was a car plumber who looked very cool, and he had a lightsaber and he was doing all of these tricks, and I was like, he's in the know, he's going to know. And he said because of the time of day, it's gone 5 o'clock now, they've finished for today. So that's super sad, but it's not to worry, like these things happen. The trip has been amazing, so it's kind of one of those things, like, if you get to do these extra things, it's perfect. But if not, next time you come, there'll be other amazing things to experience. So I'm going to head back towards the castle to say the final goodbyes. TTFN Castle, ta-ta for now, see you real soon. The castle looks absolutely stunning in the sunlight. Oh, it's so sad to leave. So it has come to that awful time of the trip where you have to leave. But what an amazing trip it has been. And what's incredible about it is pretty much every single thing I did was brand new to me. I got to see the music festival season. I got to see the fireworks for the first time. I tried loads of vegan dishes that were totally new. I got to go and see the construction updates and all the incredible things that are happening in Walt Disney Studios Park. Seeing the Walt statue, the partner statue with Mickey, I can't get over. That's amazing. I got to see the updates to Disney Village. Like, it's been an incredible 3 days. I cannot get over it. So thank you so much for joining me during this trip. I will be back later this year. I'm going to be coming back for the Halloween season, and that's going to also be a special trip because I'm staying somewhere that I've never stayed before, which I'm super excited about. So thank you once again. Between now and then, I will of course be having lots of planning videos to help you with tips and tricks if you're going to be coming to Disneyland Paris, plus Disney World. I do a lot of content about Disney World, so if you do want to see any tips and tricks about visiting there, do make sure you follow and subscribe. And I can't believe it's the end. I can't believe it. It never feels real. You get to this point and you go, nope, I'm not going. But thank you once again. This has been such a fabulous 3 days. And until next time, I hope you have a most magical day. Bye bye.